Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare quarter-dollar coins, cause some of these coins hold an incredible history, and some are worth millions. So today, we are gonna uncover the rarest varieties and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we're diving into one of the most recognizable coins in American history, a piece that millions of people have seen, but only a few truly understand. The United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar issued to celebrate the bicentennial of American independence. This coin, marked with the dual date 1776 to 1976, is more than just a quarter. It's a piece of history, a collector's dream, and in certain cases, a coin worth far more than you could ever imagine. So sit back, listen closely, and enjoy the journey into the fascinating story of the Bicentennial Quarter. The bicentennial celebration of 1976 was a monumental event for the United States. To mark the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, the U.S. Mint created special designs for the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins. The Washington Quarter Dollar received a brand new reverse design featuring a colonial drummer boy with a torch encircled by 13 stars, representing the original colonies. The obverse retained George Washington's portrait, but with the unique dual date 1776 to 1976, distinguishing it from all other quarters. The sheer number of these coins produced makes them seem common, but not all bicentennial quarters are created equal. They were minted at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and came in different compositions. While the majority were copper-nickel-clad coins intended for circulation, a smaller number were struck in 40% silver, sold in collector sets. These silver bicentennial quarters are already more desirable, especially when found in high-grade, pristine condition. Condition is key. Most bicentennial quarters have been used in everyday transactions, tossed into change jars, and carried around for decades. Coins that survived untouched, with sharp details and brilliant luster, are rare and highly valued by collectors. Professional grading services certify these coins, and examples graded at the very top, such as MS-67 or MS-68, can command impressive prices. But what really makes some bicentennial quarters extraordinary are the minting errors. Collectors love these unusual pieces because they are accidents of history. Some errors include double die strikes, where details of the design appear doubled. Others show off-center strikes, giving the coin a misaligned and eye-catching look. There are also planchet errors, such as coins struck on the wrong metal blank, which are among the rarest and most valuable finds. These error coins combine history with uniqueness, and that's exactly what collectors crave. Imagine discovering a bicentennial quarter with a striking error. Maybe the drummer boy's image doubled, or the stars not perfectly aligned. To most people, it would look unusual, but to a collector, it would represent a true treasure. These varieties are rare, and their scarcity, combined with the popularity of the bicentennial design, makes them some of the most sought-after quarters ever produced by the U.S. Mint. Another factor that adds to the appeal of this coin is nostalgia. Millions of Americans remember the bicentennial celebration, and the quarter's design takes them back to that moment in history. Collectors young and old are drawn to it, ensuring strong demand in the marketplace. Combine that emotional connection with genuine rarity, and you have a coin that can reach values that surprise even seasoned experts. Now for the part you've been waiting for, the value reveal. While most bicentennial quarters are still worth just 25 cents, rare examples in exceptional condition or with dramatic minting errors have sold for staggering amounts. Some of these special Washington Quarter Dollars from 1776 to 1976 have been valued as high as $86,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $86,000 for a single bicentennial quartered S.O. The next time you come across one of these coins, don't dismiss it as ordinary change. Check its details carefully, look at its condition, and you might be holding a small piece of history that could also be a life-changing treasure. Top 2, we're talking about the United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar from 1967. At first glance, it may look like just another quarter from the 1960s, but what makes it so exciting is that under the right conditions, this coin can be worth an amount you would never expect. Stay with me until the very end, because I'll reveal exactly how valuable one of these coins can become. Let's begin with the historical background. The year 1967 was a transitional period for U.S. coinage. Just 2 years earlier, in 1965, the U.S. Mint stopped using 90% silver in quarters due to rising silver prices and a shortage of coins. Instead, quarters were now made of a copper-nickel clad composition bonded to a pure copper core. The 1967 quarter is part of this first wave of clad coins, making it historically significant because it represents the nation's move away from precious metals in everyday coinage. Now, here's something especially interesting. During 1965, 1966, and 1967, the U.S. Mint did not use mint marks on any coins. This was done to discourage hoarding and collecting during a period of coin shortages. So no matter where the quarter was struck, Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, it carries no mint mark. That alone makes it unique compared to most other Washington quarters. Collectors often wonder, if millions were minted, what makes the 1967 Washington quarter rare? The answer lies in condition and errors. Most of these coins circulated heavily. They were used in shops, vending machines, and parking meters, so finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition today is far from easy. High-grade examples with sharp details and no scratches are scarce, and when professionally graded at the top levels, they can command huge prices. But rarity doesn't stop there. The real treasures among the 1967 quarters are the error coins. Some were struck with double-die obverse, where Washington's portrait or the lettering shows a noticeable doubling effect. Others were struck off-center, where part of the design is missing and shifted, creating a dramatic and eye-catching look. Then there are coins struck on the wrong planchets. Imagine a quarter struck on a nickel or dime blank. These oddities are extremely rare and highly prized by collectors because they are one-of-a-kind mistakes. Another detail that excites coin enthusiasts is the existence of special mint set coins, or SMS, from 1967. These sets were created to replace proof coins for a few years. The quarters in SMS sets often have a sharp strike, brilliant surfaces, and can even feature cameo contrasts that make them stand out. While millions of standard circulation coins exist, these special versions are much harder to come by in top condition, and they attract strong attention in auctions. Now picture this. You're searching through an old coin jar or inherited collection, and you find a 1967 quarter that looks sharper and brighter than the rest. Maybe it has an unusual strike, or perhaps it's completely flawless. That little detail could be the difference between a simple 25-cent piece and a small fortune. Collectors love these stories because they remind us that hidden treasures often lie in plain sight. The 1967 Washington quarter represents not just a coin, but a turning point in American coinage history, and owning a rare variety connects you to that important moment. And now, for the big reveal you've been waiting for. While most 1967 quarters are still only worth face value, the rarest examples in pristine condition or with dramatic minting errors have shocked collectors and sold for incredible sums. In fact, one of these quarters has reached a value of $83,000. Yes, you heard that right. $83,000 for a single 1967 Washington quarter. Oh, don't ignore those coins that look ordinary. The next time you're sorting through change or flipping through an old collection, keep an eye out for sharp details, unusual errors, or flawless surfaces. You never know, you might just be holding a treasure in your hand. Top 3, we're diving deep into a fascinating piece of American coinage history, the United States Washington quarter dollar from 1974. At first glance, this coin might seem ordinary, just another quarter from the 70s. But trust me, it carries secrets that can transform it from spare change into a collector's dream. So listen carefully, enjoy the story, and stay with me until the end, because I'll reveal the shocking amount one of these coins has sold for. The 1974 Washington quarter comes from an intriguing period in U.S. history. America was in the middle of social change, economic struggles, and political turbulence, including the final stages of the Watergate scandal. Through all this, coins remained a steady part of everyday life. The quarter in 1974 was made of copper-nickel clad over a copper core, a composition that had replaced silver less than a decade earlier. By this time, the clad design had become standard, But collectors still examine these coins carefully because of their quality and unexpected variations done on the obverse side. We see the classic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan back in 1932. It's an enduring design that survived for decades and still represents strength and history. On the reverse side, the eagle is perched proudly with wings outstretched, a symbol of American pride and freedom. While it's a design familiar to millions, subtle variations and striking quality make some examples of the 1974 quarter very special. Now, let's talk about rarity. You might think that because the mint struck hundreds of millions of quarters in 1974, there's no way one could be worth more than face value. But the truth is, condition is everything. Most of these coins were tossed into cash registers, vending machines, and pockets, leaving them scratched, dinged, and worn. But coins that somehow survived untouched, with brilliant luster and razor-sharp details, can be worth thousands. At the very top of the grading scale, prices climb dramatically, and then there are the errors, the true gems for collectors. Error coins occur when something goes wrong at the mint, and instead of being destroyed, a mistake coin makes its way into circulation. Some 1974 quarters are known with dramatic double-die obverse, where the lettering or details of Washington's profile appear doubled. Others have off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing, creating a striking and unusual look. A few have been discovered struck on the wrong planchet, such as nickel or half-dollar blanks. These errors are extremely rare and make each coin one of a kind. Another exciting detail is that coins minted in different facilities can sometimes show slight differences. While Philadelphia coins carried no mint mark, Denver quarters proudly bear the D. Coins struck in San Francisco as proofs were specially made for collectors with mirror-like surfaces and frosted details. If a proof coin escapes into circulation, it immediately becomes a prized catch. Imagine finding a 1974 Washington quarter tucked away in an old drawer, looking brighter and sharper than any you've seen before. That small difference in condition or a tiny minting flaw could turn your 25 cents into a small fortune. This is what excites collectors. The chance that ordinary-looking coins still hold extraordinary surprises. So, how much could one of these be worth? While the majority of 1974 quarters are still only worth face value, the rarest examples, those in flawless, uncirculated condition or with dramatic and unique errors, have shocked collectors at auction. Believe it or not, one of these special quarters has sold for an astonishing $81,000. Yes, you heard that right. $81,000 for a single 1974 Washington quarter. This is why collectors never overlook even the most common-looking coins. Every quarter tells a story, and sometimes that story ends with a life-changing discovery. Top for we're uncovering the hidden story of the United States Washington quarter dollar from 1979. To many, it looks like a simple coin from everyday change, but to collectors and enthusiasts, it holds a surprising potential that makes it worth a second look. So listen carefully, enjoy this journey, and stay with me until the very end, because I will reveal just how much one rare 1979 quarter has sold for. And trust me, the number will amaze you. Let's start with the background. By 1979, the Washington quarter had already been circulating for nearly 5 decades. First introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. Unlike the early silver quarters, by the late 1970s, these coins were made of copper-nickel clad over a copper core, a composition that had been standard since 1965. While millions upon millions were produced in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, not all 1979 quarters are created equal. That's what makes this story so exciting. On the obverse, we see the familiar portrait of George Washington designed by John Flanagan, a design that has become iconic in American coinage. The reverse showcases the eagle, wings spread wide, clutching arrows and surrounded by olive branches, a powerful image of strength balanced with peace. It may look like an ordinary design, but collectors know that beauty often lies in the small details, and the smallest variations can make the biggest difference in value. Now, why would a 1979 quarter be considered rare? First, condition is everything. The vast majority of these coins were used in everyday transactions, passed through stores, parking meters, and vending machines, leaving behind scratches, wear, and tarnish. But coins that somehow escaped circulation, preserved in mint state with sharp luster and no marks, are rare and highly sought after. The difference between a worn quarter worth 25 cents and a pristine one worth thousands comes down to those fine details. Next, let's talk about minting errors. Errors are what turn a common coin into a true treasure. In 1979, some quarters were struck with doubled dies, where the lettering or Washington's profile shows a ghostly duplication. Others were struck off-center, leaving part of the design missing but creating a dramatic and eye-catching effect. There are also wrong planchet errors, where a quarter was mistakenly struck on a blank intended for another coin, like a nickel or a foreign coin. These unusual mistakes are extremely rare and highly prized by collectors because no two are exactly alike. Another interesting variety is the proof coin. In 1979, the San Francisco Mint produced special proof sets with deeply mirrored fields and frosted details. These coins were meant for collectors, not circulation. But when a proof coin finds its way into circulation by mistake, it becomes an incredible discovery. Spotting one of these is like striking gold in your pocket change. Collectors also pay close attention to strike quality. Some coins, due to worn dies or misaligned presses, show weak details, while others, struck with fresh dies and extra pressure, display sharp features and dazzling brilliance. Those coins with exceptional eye appeal command strong prices in the market. Imagine for a moment going through an old jar of coins or a family collection and finding a 1979 Washington quarter that looks unusual, maybe brighter, sharper, or slightly different from the rest. That little difference could mean you are holding a treasure worth far more than face value. So, how much could one of these coins really be worth? While the majority of 1979 Washington quarters are still only worth a quarter, the rarest examples, those with pristine uncirculated quality, dramatic doubled dies, or remarkable minting errors, have stunned collectors and sold for extraordinary amounts. One of these special coins has reached the unbelievable value of $79,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $79,000 for a single Washington quarter from 1979. This is the thrill of coin collecting. A coin that seems ordinary to most people can turn out to be a fortune for someone who knows what to look for. That's why collectors study, search, and treasure every small detail. Top 5. We are shining a spotlight on a fascinating piece of American coinage, the United States Washington Quarter Dollar from 1981. At first glance, this coin may look like an ordinary piece of pocket change, but as every collector knows, sometimes the most unassuming coins hold the greatest surprises. Stay with me until the very end, because I will reveal the extraordinary price that one of these quarters has reached, and I promise it will leave you stunned. Let's begin with a little background. By 1981, the Washington Quarter had already been in circulation for nearly 50 years, since its introduction in 1932. This coin had become a staple of American life, passing through countless hands every single day. The 1981 edition was struck at 3 major mints: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with the D, and San Francisco with the S. At this point, the quarter was made of copper nickel-clad layered over a copper core, a composition that had been standard since 1965, when silver was removed from circulating quarters. On the obverse, the coin carries the timeless portrait of George Washington designed by John Flanagan, a design so iconic it has endured for generations. His profile faces left, a symbol of leadership and resilience. The reverse side features the proud eagle with wings spread wide, grasping arrows of strength and framed by olive branches of peace. To most people, this design looks simple, but collectors know it hides a world of stories, varieties, and treasures. Now, what makes the 1981 Washington Quarter so special? The answer lies in condition and rarity. While hundreds of millions were minted, most of them circulated heavily, gathering scratches, marks, and wear. Quarters were used in vending machines, toll booths, laundromats, you name it. Finding one that has survived in pristine, uncirculated condition is rare. Those coins, when graded at the highest levels with blazing luster and flawless details, are the ones collectors chase with passion. But rarity is not just about condition. It's also about errors and varieties. Minting errors are like little accidents at the mint that slip into circulation. Some 1981 quarters show double die obverse, where the lettering, or even parts of Washington's profile appear doubled. Others feature off-center strikes, with parts of the design missing and a dramatic crescent of blank space. A few even exist struck on the wrong planchet, such as a nickel or foreign coin blank, creating a coin that should never have existed. These errors are extremely rare and turn a common quarter into a one-of-a-kind collectible. Then there are proof coins. In 1981, the San Francisco Mint struck proof quarters for collector sets. These coins were specially made with mirror-like fields and frosted devices. When they remain untouched and show strong cameo contrast, they can command impressive prices. If by chance a proof quarter from 1981 makes its way into circulation, it becomes an even more exciting discovery for sharp-eyed collectors. Think about it. How many times have you seen a 1981 quarter and never given it a second glance? Yet, somewhere out there, one of these coins in perfect condition or with a dramatic minting error has changed the game completely. This is the thrill of coin collecting. The possibility that a tiny detail or overlooked feature could make the difference between 25 cents and a life-changing treasure. Collectors love the chase, and coins like the 1981 Washington Quarter keep that excitement alive. They remind us that history, art, and chance all come together in the world of numismatics. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story ends in an astonishing auction result. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. While most 1981 quarters are still only worth face value, the rarest examples in flawless condition or with spectacular minting errors have sold for extraordinary sums. One of these special coins has reached the incredible value of $77,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $77,000 for a single Washington quarter from 1981. That's why collectors never dismiss even the most common-looking coins. Every quarter has the potential to hold a hidden treasure, and sometimes it takes just one careful glance to uncover it. Thank you for joining me on this exciting journey into the story of the 1981 Washington Quarter. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you don't miss out on more stories about rare and valuable coins. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your next find be the treasure you've been searching for.